Alright, so we're going to do create a simple module. So we can do like an Erwin Hauer type screen. So we're going to go into starting from Grasshopper. Not Grasshopper, I'm sorry, T-splines. We're going to make this one fairly regular because I know I want it to be a modular screen. So just to make sure that everything starts to line up, let's do I have grid snap turned on down here. I'm going to start from the 0, 0 point and just making a square. Do 12, 12. Just so I have that as my starting point. I'm going to make a, let's see, let's do a 5 by 5 by 5. Yeah, that's good. That should get us started. What I want to do is I want to copy this thing. And again, I have grid snap turned on. Tap Alt, and I want to make sure that this edge lines up. And as long as I have grid snap turned on, it should start to match up. And I'm going to copy this way. Alt, so that it matches up over there. Now what I want to do is use the bridge command to bridge this T-spline object with this T-spline object. And do the same thing over here. And I want to get rid of a couple of these extra lines that I'm really not going to need. Get rid of that one. Get rid of that one. So this gives us a pretty good starting point. What I want to do now is select a couple of these faces. And I'm going to just drag this down some distance. Select these bottom faces just by holding Shift. And I'm going to drag these up almost to the center line. That's a pretty good start. So what I want to do now is I want to give pretty much all the edges, the outside edges, a sharp crease. So for example, if I want to have this to have a sharp crease, I can just go crease, select that edge, and hit enter. And it's now giving it a sharp crease, even though it doesn't look like much because of the rest of the edges around there are pretty smooth. It doesn't really look like much. But if I give the rest of these creases, I'm just double clicking on these, and all the way around here. And I'm going to do the same thing to these. And these last two. And as soon as I hit enter, it gives me these sharp creases. Just so you can have an idea of what we're going to do. I'm going to take this, I'm going to rotate it. Copy it when I rotate it. And if I pick the center point, so when I made this original square, it was 12 by 12. So I picked the center point of 6 and 6. I should be able to rotate it where it does something like this. Now that I've rotated it, I can see I still need to modify it just a little bit. There's some strange overlaps happening, but hopefully you get the idea of where we're starting to go down with this. So I'll delete that. I need to give myself a little bit more extra room. So I'm going to go back to edit the face, And I'm going to select those faces, move them up. Let's see, I don't want to move them too far up. And then select these faces. And move these faces down a little bit. So now if I were to try the rotate command again, there you go, it's a little bit better. They start to get a little bit more of an overlap. So that's not too bad. So at least I have like the starting point. I'm gonna bring this edge in just a little bit. Edit mode, edge, this one, and that one. Is gonna bring that in just slightly. Alright, so now what I'm gonna do is use some more of the other commands, my history commands that I've used in the past. So if I start off with rotate, and I do record history, I rotate that 180 degrees. And then if I use a mirror command twice, again using record history, and then use the mirror command again, record history. So now essentially I can have this repeated module tile, I guess. And because I recorded history on all of this, I can use this one shape. This was my original shape. I can use this to see what the overall look will look like. So for example, if I want to modify this, I can select this face, possibly that one, and if I move this one in, I should now be able to see what the how it starts to change the overall form. Or let's see, if I move this center edge again, I should now be able to adjust the entire thing so I can see how it's starting to look. And I can go on and make more changes this way. But at least now what I'm able to do is at least to get some kind of repeating module block, which is, at least starting off with, is just 12 by 12. So the last thing we're going to do with this is we're going to take this into paneling tools, and we're going to panel a surface. So what you should be trying to do is trying to create a single module. It doesn't have to be this necessarily, but some form of a single module that can then be repeated over and over again. So for example, if I was going to take this and copy it from there to there to there to there, it's essentially a single module that gets repeated over and over and over and over and over again. And that's pretty much what the Erwin Hauer module is doing. Right, it's some repeated module that at the end makes a screen. Right, it doesn't have to be this complex, but something that can then be repeated over and over again. Right. And then we're going to take that into paneling tools, and we'll do that for next class.